first.
No, I'm not. No, no,
Basically
no.
introducing Kill Bill, aka
No.
KB Curry.
I enjoy my
This
time.
time, 2 months.
Each donation puts more on your reloadable debit card. So you have more money to treat yourself. And
that's the noise Mario
Michael
makes
has
in
not
Super
been
Mario
on.
64
How you not?
damage.
Don't you have a game to
Not the
play?
worst impression, but probably not the worst either. And right
You were
now,
just
Mario
playing
is
Texas
making those
Chainsaw,
noises
what
'cause
the
he's
hell?
taking damage in real life, judging by the reviews on his new movie. This has nothing to do with today's video topic, by the way, but right before I started filming, I saw the headlines that Super Mario Galaxy is like bad. So it's getting pretty terrible reviews, which surprised me because I assumed it would be business as usual. I liked the last Mario movie. I thought this would be more of the same. And the last Mario movie had average reviews. This one has catastrophic reviews. People talking about it like they went in there and Mario gave them a fucking knuckle sandwich and a wet willy. They hate it. And definitely had me raise an eyebrow there because it makes me wonder, is it actually bad or what the hell's gone wrong? Not that it matters because it's Mario. It's still going to gross $1 billion. But I'm very curious to see how this movie actually is on Thursday. Anyway, though, today's video topic is kind of a smorgasbord of things. There's a lot that I want to blabber about. First and foremost, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run. It's the newest season of JoJo's. It's part 7. It's been very highly anticipated. Most of you know I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Most of you also know the fandom does not like.
Yeah, he has a
me at
girl
all.
skin
They
now.
treat me like Bikini Bottom treated
And when he gets reincarnated as a girl.
I'm ugly and I'm proud. And the reason why they don't like my take on it. I love JoJo's Part 1,
Depends.
Part 2, Part 5.
So how many boys or
I haven't
girls are
finished
on the
Part 6
team?
because of Netflix's release schedule for it, but I like everything I've seen in Part 6. Coming close, coming close. Get ready. Hope you're sitting down. I don't like Parts 3 and 4. I know. Steam collectively just exploded out of people's ears. Part 3 was okay. I didn't love it. It just dragged so much. And Part 4, it falls into my least favorite genre of anime, which is slice of life. It's predominantly slice of life until Kira's introduced, and I loved Kira. Everything that happened when Kira came was wonderful. Everything before that, way too slice of lifey for me. It is what it is. Anyway, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run just dropped, episode 1. You may have seen, even if you're not familiar with the property, that it's one of the highest rated anime episodes ever. And fans were really excited to get more, only to be met with this fucking wedgie that second stage, episode 2, will be coming at some point in 2026. No release date, not even a release month, just this idea of episode 2 coming out at some point this year. Very, very disappointing. Now, I mentioned with Part 6, I didn't actually finish it because of Netflix's release schedule. They did something called batch release, where they released it in parts, but not in the way that you're thinking. Not like in the way that some anime do, where it's like Part 1 and then like 6 months later, Part 2, which is like a whole other season. Netflix did it in like a really counterintuitive way, and it just completely ruined the momentum of the show. And it seems like, based on this, they're doing the same thing with Part 7 here, Steel Ball Run. They released episode 1, it was a banger. Now we have to wait who knows how long for episode 2 or the next batch of episodes. This is straight up proof, because what's even the point of releasing the episode here? Why? People are just going to forget about it in like 6 or 8 months, however long it is, until episode 2 finally fucking pops out of the oven here. They squeak it out. Like, it's just, you kill all the momentum. Everyone that got invested in episode 1 has nothing to do for 6 or 8 months and will just drop it most likely. That's what happened to me as a fan of the property already. So someone like me who's already invested in the property couldn't even like keep up with the release schedule on part 6. What fucking hope is there for a casual fan to keep caring about it? You know what I mean? It's very silly. As many people talk about these days, weekly releases are just the best for shows. Hands down. I think the binge model is obsolete. That's just for gluttonous heathens at this point. I see no value in the binge model unless you just want to endlessly consume and forget. There's just only positives to doing weekly releases for a show or anime. because then it's always top of mind. It keeps stretching out the hype and the momentum. It allows for conversations around each episode. It lets people get excited and get invested, as opposed to just like one big drop and then everyone's all over the place with it. It's hard to talk about it because everyone's at different points, and I know I've yapped about that a lot. It's just crazy to me that we still have things like this happen. It just doesn't make sense. So, very disappointed with how Netflix is handling Steel Ball Run. Hopefully, they do have like this big come to Jesus moment and realize like maybe we shouldn't wait till the end of the year, which is the speculation, for episode 2 to come out. Maybe we should do it a little bit sooner here. But I guess we'll see. I doubt they're going to change course, but who knows.
My 100th cycle in the Forgotten Castle.
How many times have you been fooled by those fake advertisements? How many crappy mobile games have you downloaded? Don't fall for it again. The game I'm about to recommend is exactly the same as how it looks in the ads. Besides, there are many games you can spend your time on. Now you have more reasons to tap on your screen. What are you waiting for? Tap the download button now.
I doubt they're going to change course, but who knows. What we do know, though, is that there's a lot of butts getting fucked right now by Sony. There was a huge price increase that was just announced recently about how basically everything's going up by at least $100. So PS5 disc edition goes from $550 to $650. The digital only goes to $600, and the PS5 Pro goes all the way to $900, a $150 price hike. Now the reasoning they gave for the price hike is, I think you can guess it, things like RAM shortages and just everything we've been seeing across the tech space, citing like big global changes, that kind of thing. But I think their numbers are a load of hooey. I think this is a pretty steep price hike that I don't think is necessarily solely driven by what we've seen like with RAM and all of that. I think they figured that they could probably get away with it and it probably wouldn't hurt their bottom line. They're also probably right. I think people will still continue to buy PS5s even at $900 for the Pro. Yeah, it sucks. Not a very happy announcement here. You best start believing in face fucking. You're in what? And it won't just be Sony. We're going to be seeing price increases pretty much across the board on tech, I imagine. Even though I did see some glimmers of hope, like some good news, like with the AI, floundering that we've been seeing recently with OpenAI and all that. So maybe there's like signs of life there that, everything won't get absurdly expensive instantly. But I don't know, it's hard to have any level of hopium at this point in that industry. Anyway, though, huge total whiplash here. I want to give you something cool, something that I found to be surprisingly good, which is the Backrooms trailer. Most of you know this. I don't like the Backrooms. I haven't liked any of the Backrooms games I played. I haven't enjoyed the Backrooms products. It just, for some reason, it just doesn't do it for me. Now, you can huff and you can puff, but you won't be changing my mind. It's just not my cup of tea. That being said, everything I've ever seen from Kane Pixels seems cool. Like, if you're a fan of Backrooms, everything he's been doing with the property does seem really hype. And now, after watching this new trailer, I'm pretty excited for the movie myself, even as someone who's been quite the Scrooge on Backrooms. So, I just wanted to make a mention of that. I was very pleasantly surprised by the quality of this trailer, and I really hope the movie slaps. Coming at you with another huge change of direction here, big change of pace. I cannot stop giggling at the Lindsey Graham Disney trip. Lindsey Graham, big fucking goober, absolute fucking weirdo madman. He took he claims it was like, a big business thing, and then he did a little R&R at Disney afterwards, because he was in the area. And so Lindsey Graham, naturally, of course, went to Disney World by himself. No kids. Lindsey Graham, no kids, by the way. Took a solo excursion to Disney, and boy, did he live it up. He probably was, hitting some of these cool little rooms, hot dog, trying to get Mickey's attention. He got himself a bubble wand. I think he was spotted with a secret family. No, he was not. Yeah, I gotta show you this picture here. I know we already talked about him earlier, but it is just so fucking rad. I gotta show you the magic wand. Oh, it was a bubble wand, excuse me. I didn't mean to besmirch the good name of Lindsey Graham's childless Disney excursion. Look how much fun he's having. He's having such a good time. No kids, by the way. Bro, raw dogging his Disney vacation. Yeah. Why is he all by himself? He's a fucking freak, man. I don't know. I love the idea of someone recognizing him and taking a stealth photo. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I would not recognize Lindsey Graham. He just looks like a normal, spaced-out old guy. Like, he has no uniquely defining features. Now, everyone started clowning on Lindsey Graham for this, naturally, and so, pretty much immediately upon, like, the flood of people spitting on him and poking fun at him, he posted this photo trying to look cool. Like, look how hard I am. See, look, I'm not gay or anything. I'm bubble wand. Never heard of such a thing. The only wand I know is the wand that spits lead. Look at me shoot these clays. I think I may have laughed harder at him posting that picture than I did at the actual Disney photos of him being spotted there like fucking Sasquatch. It had me actually hooting and hollering because I just know this freak was having a conniption. He was there with a cold sweat and a panic like, okay, oh my god. Alright, we gotta turn the tides here. Okay, what's the coolest thing I can do right now? A kickflip. Shit, no, I'm like 90 years old. I can't get around like I used to. Geriatric, I went clay shooting once. I might have a picture, yes. They won't call me gay when I post this. Watch this. Bang. And then he just drops that little fucking nugget there. It was beautiful. Actually glorious. So yeah, I had to yap about this too here. Like I said, it's just kind of a charcuterie board of little topics I wanted to discuss here. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering. That's really about it. See ya. Raise your hand if you've heard of the Talabi sisters. Wow, no hands, huh? That's surprising considering their strong presence on Instagram. They each have over 1 million followers. And recently they fell into some hot water after they were outed as scammers, and people took a bit of a deeper look into the Talabi sisters, and it turns out everything that they associate with and everything they claim to like own, all the pies that they apparently have their fingers in, are make-believe, most likely. There's no evidence any of it's even real. So there's also a very good chance that their strong Instagram numbers are also just fraudulent. It's most likely botted, which isn't unique to the Talabi sisters. I'm sure most of you have heard of that phenomenon on Instagram specifically. These phantom influencers with millions of followers, but you'll click on one of their posts and it has like 15 likes and a single comment from some drooling gooner who doesn't realize it's not real. But in most cases, those are fake people, like they don't exist, sometimes AI, sometimes just like random Photoshop shit. In the Talabi sisters case, it's a little bit more unique because they do actually exist. And their origin goes as far back as like 6 years ago, trying to get their name out there on Dr. Phil, showing off some crazy dance moves that puts JoJo Siwa to shame. Like they get some of the wacky ones out there because they're really desperate to be influencers. And now, fast forward to today, 6 years later, they have these accounts with over 1 million followers each, and they're leveraging those numbers to try and get free things.
Sister ripped off a family-owned small business for hundreds of dollars of food, and she thought she'd get away with it. So Leah here is an influencer who reached out to this Chinese restaurant in LA and asked if they would give her and her sister free food in exchange for content.
Yes, the classic Galaxy Brain influencer scheme here of, you give us free shit, and we'll give you one of these. It's just always a terrible deal for whatever company that's working with one of these worms. Leah hopped on the horn, tossed out the cold call asking if they'd be interested in collabing. They said, sure, we'll accommodate. They set a time, then she says that her and her sister will be joined with another food influencer who will be with them. They confirm that they can accommodate, and then ask, like, what the deliverables will be. Will the food influencer post as well? Leah confirms, yes, everyone will post! So they get excited, saying, perfect. Collaboration we had previously. You will receive 1 drink per person, 1 appetizer per person, 1 entree per person, 1 dessert per person, in exchange for 1 Instagram reel and TikTok, 1 Instagram story mention, to which Leah responds, perfect, that works! So now the contract has been signed, the deal with the devil has been made, and they've got a date with 3 of the most insufferable fucking losers you'll ever meet in your life, I'm sure. I guarantee they were probably such a nuisance to serve at the restaurant. I already know.
Leah agrees, but then says she's actually showing up with a group of 6 people. Her justification for this is that she's showing up with a bunch of big food creators and publications who are going to highlight the restaurant. You can see she lists them off here.
Jeepers, she's got the whole bang bus pulling up here full of food influencers, ready to just go hog wild in this restaurant and highlight everything to promote them. We can provide a mix of Instagram reels, stories, and tag posts to highlight your menu, ambiance, and experience, and then list some of the profiles that will be attending. LA Food Magazine, Food Journal Magazine, Food Life Magazine, and let's not forget the most important toilet paper of them all, the Talaby's Instagram account.
Perfect for campaign, arena, faction wars, a very strong all-rounder. The best part, you don't need to have my luck. You can just get Alice for free. New player, use promo code GETALICE and progress fast.
Signal always cuts out in elevators. Light lets you prep short videos ahead. Load before you move. Elevator ride, still scrolling. Download TikTok Lite today.
But now Leah Talaby has changed the terms of the deal. Now she's looking to have the entire fucking baseball team here come through the LA influencer circuit to run a train on this restaurant here. But I mean, honestly, it's coming out of the goodness of the Talaby heart because they want to just highlight the restaurant. Honestly, they're looking out for them, clearly. They want what's best for the restaurant. So now she's got some of her very powerful food influencer friends representing prestigious magazines. And I already know they're going to be serving up smiles. The staff is going to be pleased to be around them, no doubt. And based on the dance moves and the attitude I saw from the Talaby sisters in the Dr. Phil segment, I already know they are fucking insufferable to be around. I bet they are these reckless oafs in public. Like, I just have this image of them sitting at the table like fucking SpongeBob at the Goofy Goober ice cream parlor, just slamming on the table. Waiter! Waiter! Waiter!
Leah and her group then rack up a $450 tab. She posts a couple of stories and they leave. Now a few weeks pass and nobody from that group has posted what Leah promised, so the restaurant does some digging after Leah ignores their messages. Remember those big food content creators that Leah said she was bringing? Well, the restaurant reached out to one of them directly and they had no idea about this dinner or Leah.
When I heard that stunning revelation, I had to stand up from my seat, hands on my hips. I couldn't believe it. You're telling me that was a lie? You're telling me her food influencer friends didn't actually represent those magazines, and when contacted directly, the magazines denied ever even having heard of the Talabys? What kind of... Saying it out loud, I'm stunned all over again. You're telling me that the Talabys would...
Yes, sometimes it be like that.
Like end up leaving my lips. I just couldn't even imagine them doing something like that. They seem like such good-natured, wholesome people.
Let's see why.
Surely
8,000 healing, dude. That's why
They
you're a
represent
bad
these
healer.
magazines. They're busy. The pipeline gets full. They're probably still in the process of writing up a 100-page epic novella, all covering this experience they had dining in at that restaurant for free. And surely the promised posts from the Talabi twins are on their way. That's probably still just bogged down in editing. They probably sent it out to like Nolan's editors, you know, in order to really spruce it up and make it the best it can be for some high quality content that the Talabi sisters have become known for. Now, dropping the sarcasm. So, I think it's pretty clear what the scam is. They use these numbers on their Instagram account to go to these companies and these businesses in order to pitch these collaborations to get free shit out of it. And these companies agree because they think that they'll get good promotion out of it. But the reality of the situation is they don't really see anything from it. And in the case of the Talabi sisters, they don't even get the agreed upon posts or anything either. They just end up being out hundreds of product with nothing to show for it at all. And the Talabi sisters seem to bring their friends into the deals. So, like, instead of it just being the Talabi twins, they then bring in a bunch of their friends in order to maximally fist these businesses. And in the case of this restaurant, this is just a small family-owned business. And $450 bill that the Talabis did not pay and seemingly have no interest in paying is not feeling good on a business like that. And that sucks. That really sucks. The name of the restaurant was Men and Beasts, I believe. And the Talabis have now gone radio silent. They privated their accounts because a lot of people were clowning on them for it and asking if they'll ever go back and pay their tab. And the answer is most likely no. They probably won't. And if that's where the story stopped, it'd be the same old thing that we've seen from countless influencers before them. But they go the extra mile. There is a follow-up here. They have a response, a legal response.
A few days ago, I posted about this influencer who lied to a restaurant to get hundreds of dollars of free food. Well, Leah here saw the video and she didn't like it. She had her lawyer, Ryan Sauter of Sauter Law Group, send me an email demanding that I remove the video or face potential legal action for defamation. Now, there's only one small problem with this. Ryan Sauter isn't a lawyer and Sauter Law Group doesn't exist.
No way! You mean to tell me that the Talabi twins didn't hire the most prestigious lawyer under the sun? Instead, they made up the boogeyman lawyer, Ryan Sauter? No. He's like the cleaner. You just can't find any information on him. He's that hardcore. That must be what's going on. He's deep cover right now. There's no way that something the Talabi sisters did is fake and not real. That just doesn't check out. That doesn't pass the smell test at all. Also, I love the thought process here, or really lack thereof, from these fucking sisters. Alright, how can we make this even worse? Let's go ahead and sue the guy for defamation. Well, that's what we'll try. That's always worked. But then one of them must have piped up and said, wait a minute, we can't afford a lawyer. Alright, plan B, what if we pretend we're suing him, we'll make up our own lawyer with the help of ChatGPT, and we'll send him a scary email from this supposed lawyer, and that'll bully him into silence. He'll be shaking in his boots. We'll send shivers down his spine with Ryan Sauter, our make-believe lawyer.
Go ahead and get your number one. You go ahead and make it at a large. Let me get extra salt. All I got is this bag of chips right here. You got it in a gallon. Good, because I'm going to be thirsty. I got a 12-hour shift. I ain't paid yet. You ordered all that food? That should be it. See, I use my current card. It's a banking app. If you qualify, you can get up to $750 off your next check early. Up to $750 what? Hey, man, you hungry? I mean, yeah. If you offering it to me, I ain't going to turn it down.
That'll do it.
You see, what Leah and Ryan failed to realize is there's this thing called the California State Bar, which has a database of every licensed attorney in the state of California. And there's no record of a Ryan Sauter. Oh, but it gets better. The business address that Ryan lists in his email signature is associated with a real office building, and that office building has a phone number. And by calling that phone number, I discovered that there's no record of a tenant named Sauter Law Group, and the suite number that Ryan listed is associated with a reception desk.
You fool! What you fail to realize is all of that information is correct. He doesn't work at the reception desk. His office is underneath it, buried 15 levels below the ground. He's a subterranean lawyer specializing in only the most serious of defamation cases. Ryan Sauter is the danger. They have to keep him underground in order to even remotely contain his power. It's like in Men in Black when they take the elevator and they go like 10 stories down to find all the aliens and shit. That's where Ryan Sauter thrives, in that environment. So you think you've cracked the case, but you've only exposed your own ignorance to the grand scheme of the Talabi sisters and Ryan Sauter.
Now, you know what is illegal in California? Impersonating an attorney, and rest assured that I am reporting Ryan to the proper authorities. And finally, to Leah, who I know will watch this, you could have just taken some accountability and we all could have moved on. But instead, you and your friend tried to bully somebody but happened to run into the wrong person at the wrong time. Anyways, I would start looking for a real lawyer real soon, buddy.
Unfortunately, I doubt anything's gonna come from that report. I feel like that's the conclusion right there to this whole saga. There's not gonna be anything that's done about it. Like the Talabi sisters are gonna be punished for it. Ryan Sauter's not gonna be fucking perp walked or whatever for pretending to be a lawyer. Fucking half of LA is probably pretending to be a lawyer right now. Everyone's probably impersonating a lawyer out there. So I don't think there'll be any like follow-up or anything from the Talabi sisters or any like legal things that unfold from this. But they are just big assholes. The Talabi sisters are using this fake big number on their platforms to leverage free things and free services. There was another individual that came forward telling a similar story of their experience with Talabi sisters. So this is something they have done way more than once from the side of things. And now, the story doesn't quite stop there. So Atozi recently covered this, and he went even deeper than just like the surface level stuff on their Instagram and like these kind of little scams that they like to run. He looked into everything the Talabi sisters have ever really put their hands in. And it seems like pretty much all of it is fake or at the very least extremely shady.
I did after just doing a little bit of digging. Because when everything went down, I also noticed two other accounts that Sarah tagged in her bio that both seem to be run by the sisters, at least in some capacity. So you have the Talabi report, where the girls, I guess, LARP as fashion and trend journalists.
So you can look forward to the Talabi report. We're doing new episodes weekly about all the new trends and beauty trends around the world.
Unfortunately, the Talabi report is also privated, so as you can see, I'm looking a little raggedy right now because I haven't been able to tune in and get the latest in fashion advice and fashion trends. Lord help all of us. Hopefully they won't stay private for long, because what's the world going to do without their insightful, sage wisdom in the world of fashion?
And then you have Visualist Mag, which is described as a leading cultural force distinguished in its rare intersection of art, film, and fashion. There is nothing rare about that intersection. That is the most LA intersection I have ever heard of. Art, film, and fashion. That sounds like half the people in LA.
That gave me quite a giggle, because that truly is shockingly stupid. That is one of the most nothing burger sentences to describe something you could possibly drum up. Hot take, I don't think the AI generated that. I think that is fresh out of the empty thought factory of the Talabi sisters. I think that is their own brand of stupidity right there. They probably thought they were doing something unheard of before. They said it couldn't be done, like cold fusion, but we are going to be the intersection, this rare intersection between art, film, and fashion. Yes, Holy Trinity.
It's starting to feel like everything that Talabi twins are known for seems to be something of their own creation that they're using puff pieces to try to make look legitimate. For instance, they're supposed to be filmmakers at Changemaker Studios, according to a very flattering Forbes article and IMDb. And the reason I say puff pieces is because all of these articles seem to be by the same group of people, so they could be paid for. Who knows, though? But the two quote-unquote documentaries they have said that they directed, produced, and starred in, they're nowhere to be found. I couldn't find them online.
That's because these aren't movies to be watched, you imbecile. These are movies to be imagined. And the Talabi sisters take us on a thought journey by dumping empty IMDb pages for these fictitious films. It's actually so incredible. They don't even bother, like, botting the IMDb pages or anything, so there's literally 0 reviews. These movies actually don't exist. They never existed, and it's not like they were only shown in film festivals or in person, like you had to be there to see them or something. They are actually just not real. It's just a lie. But they did it because they wanted to have those credits so that way they looked more legitimate, it seems. So they're directors, they're stars in movies.
Not to mention, they have suspiciously generic titles and themes, so trying to find confirmation of their existence becomes nearly impossible. And again, this seems to be kind of a theme. For every Talabi business I could find, there's a legitimate one with a similar, if not identical name and model that floods the search results with confusing links and AI explanations. Have a fashion marketing agency called La Lux V that supposedly merged with PR powerhouse agency Koch PR Group. The problem is, when you go to this powerhouse website, it looks very amateur. Honestly, go to a media school and give them 5 minutes in Canva and they can make something better than this. But regardless, there's like no information on this website and you have to give them your contact information if you want to find out more. But again, what do you know? There actually is a legit Koch PR company that comes up when you search them up, muddying the waters yet again.
When you look up this merger of the Talabi sisters company with Koch, the only 2 articles you can find are from the same place called PR Underground. Now, I'm not familiar with PR Underground. I don't know what the vetting process is. But is there a chance that this is just, once again, not real?
Sunshine Island, farming game.
Download today and get started.
I've recently been getting big into the UFC again. I'd always watched the big fights, and when I was in high school, I watched a lot more of it, especially GSP and Machida bouts. Lyoto Machida is my favorite fighter ever, but post-high school, I stopped watching as much and only tuned in to the big fights, and that's the way it's been for like the last 12, 15 years maybe, until recently. I've been getting more and more into the UFC, and as such, I've started hating Dana White more and more. I feel like as you pay more attention to the sport, you unfortunately have to pay more attention to this fucking fungus. Now, the obvious that everyone talks about is how he refuses to pay his fighters appropriate wages. I'm not even here to really dive into this can of worms here. I'll briefly mention it, though, that it is sickening how underpaid the athletes are in the UFC. The only ones making, like, real money are, like, the actual superstars. But, like, their starter contracts of the 12-12, 12 the show, 12 if you win, that should be criminal. Dana White should be in handcuffs right now for that kind of shit. It's fucking disgusting how underpaid UFC athletes are if they're not champions. And it's something Sean O'Malley mentioned as well, though Sean O'Malley seems perfectly content being financially cut by Dana White because he often defends it. But Sean O'Malley was talking about the money he made as a champion being significantly different from the money he makes not being a champion, which I think most people would expect. But the difference is absurd. I think a lot of you have probably heard that UFC fighters, when they're starting out, have to still have a part-time job elsewhere. They can't do the UFC full-time. It's not until you are literally like a top 5 cream of the crop level athlete in the UFC that you can actually make livable money there, it seems. And the bonuses that they introduced are kind of just a band-aid for the problem of Dana White being too cheap to actually pay his athletes. And I also just saw reports this week that they are now no longer accommodating team travel. They're only compensating for the head coach. Another classy maneuver here from Dana Worm White, who just has to find all kinds of grubby penny-pinching schemes, because we have to remember, the UFC is just a tiny little indie promotion that's merged with the fucking WWE, and the UFC only generated $1.5 billion in 2025. That's not nearly enough to satiate Dana White's gluttony. I know I said I wasn't going to fully open this can of worms, and I still haven't. This is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to UFC wages and how they just don't want to pay their fighters at all. Now, I'll go ahead and move on to some other Dana White dunk topics in recent memory here, because he just keeps making a fucking fool of himself, and I have to clown on him for it. But before that, I want to make a mention that I also despise the UFC-WWE merger. I am just counting down the days until Dana White falls into his K-hole and then really gets convinced that he should be more involved with the WWE, so he tries to start shoving his meat over there and strong-arming some of his ideas in place. Like, listen guys, listen, let me pitch you on something. What about Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker in a slippery dickory match? First one to hold the other's cock for a 3-count wins. Thoughts? Because I can just see him doing some dumb shit like that. He is just a factory of zero IQ ideas and even worse execution. Anyway though, I want to show you a clip that I just saw this morning. This is from an interview that I think is 2 months old, and I think it really showcases just how evil of a man Dana White is. Now, a little context before this clip plays. I don't think Dana White has any respect at all for his wife. A while ago, I made a video covering an incident where Dana White and his wife got into a bit of a slapping match at a New Year's Eve party in public. She had slapped Dana White, and then he responded by slapping her multiple times in public, in full view of everything. When I covered that, people were very upset with me for talking about it, and then even outright denying that it was real, that this didn't happen, this is a fucking lie. And then Dana White himself had to do like the world's smallest violin press tour about it, like, listen, don't defend me, this was bad. And I'm not trying to just regurgitate all the talking points from back then, but in the clip you can see he's already grabbing his wife when she slaps him, and then he slaps her multiple times and pushes her away. And it's not like he was in any danger here. Let's not pretend that he had just been attacked by fucking Brock Lesnar. This has been yapped about till the cows come home already. I know that. As everyone's already said numerous times, it's bad on all fronts. The slap from his wife is no good, and then the retaliation from him to slap her multiple times also very not good. The reason why I bring this up again is because after what we see him do publicly, like in that instance, and now what he's also now just said publicly about what he made his wife do in regards to the birth of his child to compensate his schedule, it just really feels like the most loveless, miserable marriage imaginable. It just seems fucking terrible.
My son Aiden, when she was pregnant with him, the due date was the Chuck Liddell fight. Oh Lord. And I said to the doctor, this ain't gonna work. It doesn't work for me.
Man, I don't know where this medical field medicine is at, but
So we scheduled a C-section to take him early.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So was she gonna go natural?
No.
Okay, but if there was a C-section, you're like, no, we gotta back this up. Like,
yeah, well, she gonna go natural what? Like go in when the baby... Yeah, when the baby's due, you... Right, the baby's due, let's go.
Y'all did
that was supposed to be Saturday on the fucking Chuck Liddell fight. That was the date that they pinpointed it.
Right, you're like, nah, this ain't gonna happen, Jack.
It's not gonna work for me.
No, we're gonna be walking out in Vegas. Something gotta change. You change? Okay, nah, something...
But digital...
You on the left watches TikToks about building credit, while the you on the right is actually doing it with Self's credit building toolkit. You on the left gets denied over and over again, while you on the right signs up in a few taps, builds credit, and unlocks more options. You on the left pays rent and bills and gets nothing for it, while you on the right builds credit every month with the payments you're already making. You on the left stresses when cash is tight, but you on the right uses Self-Cash to get money fast with no credit check. You on the left feels stuck, overwhelmed, done. You on the right feels confident and in control. So, which you do you want to be?
Your time is valuable. You could finish your degree faster and for less with eligible transfer credits at University of Phoenix.
But digital detox...
He goes on to say digital detox does not exist for him. This story is just vile. Like, I don't know how anyone could hear this and walk away with a positive impression of that. He jeopardized the safety and the health of not just his wife, but also his fucking baby, so that way he could go to the Chuck Liddell fight. So he had his wife undergo a C-section early in order to compensate for his schedule so he could still make that fight. That's deplorable. And they're talking about it, like joking about it, jovial, like it's not something super serious. That's a huge deal. You're going to C-section your baby early solely so you can go to that fight. Again, that puts his wife in danger. That puts his baby in danger. That's crazy to me that anyone's looking at this as anything other than just downright evil. This is so scummy. And he's proudly talking about it like, yeah, you know, I don't slow down. I just don't slow down. You know, my wife knows this. I'll be going all night. You know, she knew this getting into it. You know, in fact, you know, with the birth of our baby here, I even made her get a C-section early. Ha ha ha. So I can see that Chuck Liddell fight, you know? That's, what the fuck, man? That's crazy. Ordinarily, to a sane person, the birth of your child is going to be one of the most important, most memorable, most meaningful moments of your life. But to Dana White, that's just an obstacle, because now it's potentially infringing on his ability to go watch the Chuck Liddell fight. That's how much he cares about his promotion. He needs to make sure, you know, the birth of his child is fucking, that's peanuts. That's nothing. That's scraps. Spits on that. We're going to speed that one up. Let's get through that real quickly so that we can go to the real thing that matters, the Chuck Liddell fight. Like, even the most die-hard of UFC fans should hear this and be like, wow, that's extremely concerning. That's just genuinely fucked up. And I have seen some cope with people saying he's probably just exaggerating or kidding around. I watched most of that podcast there. He doesn't go back and say like, oh, that story I told about making my wife have a C-section to deliver our baby early for the sake of the Chuck Liddell fight so I can still participate. Oh yeah, I made that up. I pulled that out of my ass. That was just supposed to be a good goof ha 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 moment, you know what I mean? So as far as I am aware, this is a very real thing that happened. Something that he is very proud of, which I think is just sick. I think that is extremely twisted. And I also think it showcases his perspective on the UFC, where I believe Dana White is under the impression that people watch the UFC for him. Like, I think he believes that he is the UFC, not the fighters. And that's, I think, also demonstrated in how he pays them, or really doesn't pay them. So, him making paramount importance that he is there for the Chuck Liddell fight, because that's what matters, is that Dana White is there for it. So he's willing to make the sacrifice of his wife's safety, the safety of the baby, jeopardizing both of their health for the sole sake of ensuring that he can still be there, because that is what people care about. It is. I think it's just super fucked up. I truly do. And I would also imagine that most people that watch the UFC probably have the same viewpoint I do on it, which is the fighters are the ones that make the UFC, not the other way around. I think if the UFC didn't have the talent that it does with the fighters that it has, it would not be in the same state that it is. Fighters are the ones that made the UFC successful.
So I've seen a lot of fans and viewers online commenting or discussing what they perceive as a lot of AI-generated content in the broadcast that maybe wasn't in previous iterations of the UFC. Is this something that's coming with the Paramount deal, or just a new direction for the UFC, or do you have any insight on that?
What does that mean?
AI stuff, commercials, part of the promotional content, just AI in the UFC in general. I've seen fans complaining about.
Oh yeah? What are they complaining about?
I guess I've seen people saying that the UFC should be paying artists instead of using generative AI, stuff like that.
Give me a fucking break. AI is coming, and if we're using AI, who gives a shit? People are upset about it. We should use artists. How about this? Shut the fuck up and watch the fights.
The most unsurprising statement ever uttered from a human being here. Dana White doesn't even pay the fighters. You think he cares about paying artists? Absolutely not. This fucking goober, this goddamn zombie would 1000% be using AI fighters if he could to save even more money on it. So it's not at all a shock to see him with this perspective about, like, who cares if we're not paying artists? Who cares if we're using AI? Just shut up and consume our slop. Just watch our AI and put your thumb in your mouth and be done with it. Naturally, that's what Dana White is going to say about it. and expect a lot more AI from Dana White as he starts to recognize more and more how much money he can save by just farting out AI-generated shit into the UFC programming. So don't expect that to stop anytime soon. He'll continue to go hog wild with the AI, which doesn't elevate the production or anything. It doesn't make it better. It does make it worse, but it saves Dana White money, and that's the most important thing to Dana White. There's so much more. There's just plenty I could keep poking around about when it comes to this fucking scumbag, but I've already been going here for a while yapping about it, so I'll go ahead and stop here. I do not like Dana White, but I really, really like the fighters in the UFC. It's such a fucking shame. Hopefully the day will come where they're actually paid appropriately for their talent and their hard work, but with Dana White still at the helm, I wouldn't hold my breath on it. It fucking sucks. He fucking sucks. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.
Here are the top 3 uses for Turvol. Number 3, dungeons. Turvol's raw attack power tears through dungeon bosses and their minions. Number 2, arena. Turvol's self-buffs and tool hits make him a fearsome offensive threat. And number 1, clan boss. Turvol's massive damage from his buffs let him smite boss HP like few others. Use the promo code BIGDOG to get the Void Legendary Turvol for free.
The other night on stream, I fell into a rabbit hole of employees and politicians urinating into sinks, which, you know, I always knew was a possibility. I knew our species was capable of such evil, but seeing it unfold firsthand, it still leaves you in shock and awe. And it's not like I was blissfully unaware of the existence of this tribe that walks amongst us, the Sink Pissers. On Reddit, quite a few years ago, there was actually a blossoming community, r/Sink Pissers, that a lot of people were making fun of, but in the shadows they only grew stronger, only finding more and more sinks to relieve themselves in. And now, since we went through that rabbit hole on stream, I've just been getting fed even more cases of workers pissing in clients' sinks, like this one.
You probably won't believe an Indianapolis woman says a maintenance worker peed in her kitchen sink inside her Northeast Side apartment.
No, you won't believe that I do believe that. It doesn't shock me or surprise me in even the slightest. I have known about the Sink Pissers community for a long time. And these kinds of scenarios have been unfolding pretty often, actually, more so than you would expect.
Who captured this video on her Ring camera inside of her apartment, and she now tells 13 News she's traumatized over this incident and wants the man to pay her back for the things he damaged.
Can't put the piss back in the balls, but they could at least reimburse her here for the hassle. And I do imagine if this happened to me, if I found out someone came in and started urinating all over my dishes in the sink, I would never feel comfortable cleaning in that sink again. Because there would always be that lingering what if. Like, you know, this could be some highly acidic piss this guy contaminated my sink with. Even if I replace all the dishes, even if I do my best to really scrub that clean, I just don't know if it would ever be enough. It would leave a lasting impact on me.
Now take a look at your screen. In this video, you can see this maintenance man pulling down his pants and then peeing in Shirley's sink while the dishes were filled in that sink. So Shirley says the incident happened last week at her apartment over at Blackburn Terrace in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. Shirley says she was supposed to be there, the maintenance worker rather, was supposed to be there to fix her water heater. When she got back, the man said someone else would be back to finish those repairs. That's when she looked at her camera to see what he did. She was stunned.
Greaseball really gets up close and personal with the camera here. He's like right up on it, looking like a Twitter profile pic for those 40-year-old dudes that spout out the worst dog shit takes of all time. Like we got him on the microscope here, checking on this. Now, judging from his build, I feel like I can say with a high level of confidence this is probably a frequent user of r/sync pissers. This guy's got the quintessential narwhal baconer at midnight Redditor build. So I think this guy was probably inspired by some of the posts on there over the years and said, you know what, today's the day. Or maybe he does this often at his work, pissing on people's dishes in the sink.
Fitness BioLife. Up to $800 is waiting for you. Just donate plasma, get paid for each donation the same day, then treat yourself and treat your friends. Schedule your appointment today.
Flabbergasted, I couldn't believe it. Can't imagine if I didn't have it and he did that, and I would have been eating from those same dishes later that day.
Just very shocking. And according to Shirley, that man was fired after this incident was reported.
I fear, like Michael Jordan in his prime, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. So even though he may have lost his job here, I don't think that stopped him from pissing in strangers' sinks and all over their dishes. That looks like a man with no remorse, a loose cannon. He doesn't even think twice about just pissing on the dishes of the sink. It doesn't even seem like he bothers washing down the urine, which is unusual because other employees that have done this usually try and hide the evidence, but this guy, he's proud of his work. He just tinkles it all out on the dishes and just leaves it there like his calling card. And I have to imagine he probably wasn't well hydrated. I have no evidence to base that on. He does have like this meatball build going on here, but I feel like he probably wasn't well hydrated. It's probably very yellow pee-pee, and he just leaves it there too. It's like he wanted to be caught. Maybe that was part of the thrill. This is like, this is, final raid boss sink pisser here. But again, this is not as unusual as you might think. So let me just show you from the rabbit hole when we were diving down that on stream the other day. You see where that landlord went to fix a problem in a tenant's home and took a piss in the sink? I can't say I saw that. I mean, that's fine, though. He solved the problem and then even gave them a little treat. Let's see. I didn't know how to look for this, so I just said, landlord fixed problem, pee in sink. Maintenance worker fired after allegedly urinating in tenant's sink. Oh, it wasn't the landlord. I thought the landlord went in there, he's like, alright, he just bangs a hammer on the TV to fix it and then just immediately relieves himself in their sink.
Funky story here we told you about a Bloomingdale tenant who says a maintenance worker urinated in his sink. Take a look for yourself there. The tenant says what should have been a routine service call turned into a disturbing discovery. He says a maintenance worker entered his apartment to address an issue with his washing machine. While inside, the worker was allegedly...
But then he identified another issue, an unpissed sink. So he solved two problems in one outing and didn't even charge you for the secondary service. And you have the gall to get angry about it?
The tenant's apartment cameras urinating in the kitchen sink. Well, tonight we heard back from the management company in a statement. They said, quote, management was made aware of the incident regarding one of our employees, and upon learning of this wholly unacceptable behavior, we immediately put the employee on leave following an investigation. We terminated the individual's employment.
Unjust. Can't piss in sinks anymore, huh? Some guy pissed in a coffee maker in Canada. He was candidate for an election in 2015. Well, was it his own coffee maker? Or was he also a maintenance worker who went in and relieved himself in a coffee maker? Canadian candidate Jerry Vance out after video shows him urinating into coffee cup. Toronto businessman who's been running for parliament with Conservative Prime Minister Stephen Harper's party made the wrong kind of splash has been dropped by his party after he was caught on video urinating into a coffee cup while working as an appliance repairman. That's pretty cool. Where's the video? This seems like a common occurrence. A lot of wacky pissers.
Other news now, a developing political story tonight. The Conservative Party is looking into one of its candidates over some surprising behavior. For more on that, the CDC's David Coffin joins us tonight from Ottawa.
Hey David, why do you look so sad?
Wendy, this involves Gary Benton, who is the Conservative candidate for Scarborough Rouge Park, and just a few days ago, Conservative Cabinet Minister Jason Kenney was in Vance's cameras set up, and those cameras caught Jerry Vance urinating in a coffee mug, and they dumped the contents of that mug into a kitchen sink while the homeowner was in the very next room.
That's like an elevated form of sink pissing. A more elegant solution for the sink pissing enthusiast on Reddit, I would say. Hey, Jerry. Oh my.
He just peed in the cup.
Then he empties the cup in the sink, rinses it, and puts it back.
So when we learned this, we immediately contacted
Jerry, I gotta tell you, that seemed like the work of someone who often pisses in coffee cups. That was methodical. That was just like business as usual to this guy. But why, and Jerry, far be it for me to question your technique, why not just cut out the middleman and piss into the sink at that point? What was the point of the coffee cup? Did he just want to, like, maximally contaminate as many things that he could find in the kitchen? I don't even see what the purpose was. Not tall enough, he was too short? No, was he? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess the countertop's a little high. He could have waterfalled it, just aim up, arc it. But then I guess you risk contaminating like floor and stuff, and he's not looking to make a mess.
Coincidentally, Conservative leader Stephen Harper will be campaigning in the Scarborough area tomorrow. Jerry Vance is not scheduled to be with him. Wendy?
Yeah, he is busy pissing in my sink right now, probably. I mean, the sink pissers community seems dedicated. Yeah, the sink pissers community is very enthusiastic, but even they, I don't think, would be lobbying for peeing in strangers' sinks while on a job. I think even they would show restraint. That's all they do on that subreddit, bro. Unless the subreddit's changed drastically from the last time I took a peek in there, it's only them pissing into their own sinks, right? Oh, here's the top post of the day is actually about the maintenance worker. Rookie Moon says Sasquatch. I might be careful showing this one on stream, actually. Have I just done the first ever girl sink piss? Well, I probably can't even look at this on my other monitor because you see the reflection behind me. But yeah, this is definitely their own house. So like this one. This milk stool was a game changer. And one of the sink pissers just put a stool in front of this sink for being able to get his cock and balls over the edge. It's never like strangers. They have stats at the top of the page on why it's actually better to piss in sinks. What stats? Doesn't matter what receptacle gets peed on. What does that change? Where? Oh, environmental impact of sink peeing. Okay, average gallons, flush 1.6. Analysis. R/sink pissers will save over 16 million gallons of water this year. Number of sink pissers, 4146. Average pisses per day, 7. Wow. Gallons saved daily per person, 11.2. Gallons saved per person yearly, 2088. Number of sink pissers per day, 78. Sink pissers per year, 28K. Gallons saved per year, 118 million? I don't know about this. These numbers don't feel right.
Doug Jr.'s mustache, is it real?
Is customizing your car insurance your Liberty Mutual and saving hundreds real?
Yes,
Exactly. Exactly.
Only pay for what you need.
$0 delivery fee for a limited time. Only in the Sonic app.
Wow, they're great. This is 7 years ago. Their projections were way off, by the way. The community, I think, is at, like, 15K. Didn't really experience the growth they thought they were, with 4.1 million Sync Pissing members. They just missed it. Someone also shared a YouTube video called West Virginia Pizza Hut manager caught peeing in sink. God, they're everywhere. Oh, this is 2014. This was the height of the sink pissing craze, it seems. You had the Canadian politician doing it. Now you had this Pizza Hut manager doing it. The video unavailable, what the fuck? Let's go.
Here's an extra special ingredient that no one wants on their pizza. Pea. A district man...
Now that's an intro. Where'd this energy go, USA Today? What happened to you guys? Your writers were cooking. He's fucking right. That is the last secret ingredient I want on my pie.
At a Pizza Hut in Kermit, West Virginia, lost his job after this surveillance video was released showing him peeing into a sink. The sink that was the same one the store uses to wash utensils. Ugh. Fortunately, the incident did not include any food tampering, as it happened during non-business hours. Pizza Hut officials said in a statement that they are embarrassed by the actions of this individual.
Throwing him under the bus.
Hut has zero tolerance for violence. Better now that Pizza Hut has taken care of business.
Jury, executioner! Well, I mean, it is Pizza Hut. It's not like it could have made the pizza worse. Do I personally know any sink pissers? I do not. That you know of. Yeah, it's true. I guess I've never asked if anyone's an active sink pisser that I know. Could you be friends with a sink pisser? Like, if all your friends came out as sink pissers, would it change anything? The only thing that would change is I wouldn't really want them around, like, my house. But yeah, I could definitely be friends with them. It wouldn't ruin it.
I will not be stopped so easily.
A year ago now, a YouTuber named Megalag dropped a video that was the culmination of an extended investigation that spanned the course of a very long period of time about a company who has worked very closely in the YouTube ecosystem for years, Honey, who was once the YouTube darling sponsor absolutely everywhere, more common than the cold, and never really had like a bad reputation, but Megalag, through a very extensive investigation, found some shocking, shady things that not a lot of people knew about. And I don't want to just regurgitate everything from that video. I'm sure you probably have already seen it because it was such a huge deal. Even outside of just the YouTube space, it was a really big thing. Because this is a multi-billion-dollar company that was engaging in some really underhanded tactics that really tiptoe on the line for what is and is not legal, many would argue, which is why they've been faced with so many civil lawsuits since. Now, I know one of them was recently dismissed, but from what I can tell, it's not fully dismissed. It's pending an amendment, from what I can tell. But even still, even if that one gets crumpled up and thrown in the wastebasket from fucking way downtown, that's one of many. There's a lot still out there cooked up and being pushed against PayPal Honey. It's like the scene in SpongeBob when the anchovies charge the Krusty Krab. There is so many civil lawsuits here because a ton of people feel like they have been wronged, misled, and even in certain cases scammed by PayPal Honey. Megalag came from the top turnbuckle and delivered a biblical smackdown with a lot of really convincing evidence, and just released his part 2, the follow-up, which goes even deeper and exposes even more, and also starts talking about it from the small businesses that are being affected and a lot of things that are just being outright lied about by PayPal Honey, allegedly here. It's fascinating, and PayPal Honey has cease and desisted Megalag, claiming a bit of horseradish, I would say, trying to silence him because these are really damning things. The evidence is very, very strong. I highly recommend you check out the entire video from Megalag here. Of course, I'll link it in the description. I'm only going to cover a small portion of this because I really think you need to watch the entire thing. I think you need to see how the sausage is made here, but I will cover a couple of core components. But just as a little refresher, if you don't remember some of the things PayPal Honey is accused of, one of the big things outside of, like, obviously consumers not exactly getting what they thought they were out of Honey is the affiliate coaching. So creators that worked with Honey that would have their own special deals to promote to their audience, the audience would then use those codes on the website. But Honey had some protocol that would occasionally perhaps poach that sale and take the commission that was supposed to go to the creator, and they would take the lion's share. There were a lot of cases that Megalag was able to point to, and even in his follow-up video shows even stronger evidence for of how this actually functions, where it seems to be a core component of Honey itself, where it will overwrite your cookie, it will inject itself, and it is looking to make that commission in a lot of cases. It's very scummy shit. And I know after the first video he dropped, a lot of people's response was, who gives a fuck? The creators can suck my dick, and my heart doesn't break for these businesses. They can go eat dirt. Okay, that's your prerogative. I'm not your fucking dad. I'm not going to come in there with the belt and make you change your mind or whatever. That's fine. But in this second part of the video, you can hear from a business how that actually fucks you as a consumer.
A few hours ago, PayPal's lawyer sent me a cease and desist letter and requested Patreon take down my video under a copyright infringement claim. I consider this a direct attack against my fundamental rights as an independent journalist. PayPal has specifically taken issue with the fact that an anonymous source discovered Honey had left their source code exposed within their iOS app, which, if you know where to look, is publicly accessible. This anonymous source found the code and sent it to me. I reviewed the code for security research purposes, which is a protected act, and I only published relevant sections of the code that provide important context to the story, which I consider within the realm of public interest.
This is how I move forward with Purdue Global. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Interest.
I haven't seen the unredacted video here where the source code was, like, more talked about, where he had these video components that showed, I suppose, sections of that when it was relevant. But it seems like it was more so a convenient excuse for PayPal to get the video taken down from his Patreon, and in order to get around that for the YouTube video, he just took the entire section out. Again, I haven't seen with my own peepers here what it looked like in all its glory with the full makeup on, where, you know, the source code section was intact. But just based off of, like, this small bit, apparently it wasn't even that long, it feels like it's a pretty flimsy thing for PayPal to try and, like, strike it down for. I imagine it's more so to, like, hide even further proof for some of the things that you're about to learn about in the rest of the video. I never like when companies do something like this. Of course, there is, like, copyright protections, and in certain cases it makes sense to do so. I can't really see a strong justification for their action here on the cease and desist. It doesn't really pass the smell test for me here, especially considering it seems like he was very reserved with what was displayed from the source code based on how he speaks about it, but again, I can't say for 100% certain. I just find it hard to believe that PayPal Honey was acting in good faith with the cease and desist. That seems like they're trying to hush him up a bit.
Why? Well, you see, besides lying to consumers and stealing from influencers, Honey was also causing serious harm to small businesses. So much so that I believe brands have likely suffered millions of dollars in damages. But that's not all. In this video, you're also going to learn how Honey was collecting and sharing your data, and how they, in my opinion, illegally targeted minors through influencers such as MrBeast. Strong accusation, I know, but I have the receipts. And the receipts are pretty convincing. So those are like the main components of this new video. This is an hour-long video almost. It goes deep here. This shit is deeper than my pussy. It is a very thorough look at all of it, and I know after the first video people had a lot of questions, and I feel like here he sheds even more light on it through an even deeper analysis of Honey itself and the way in which it functions.
it's not just him working alone. He had people help him with, like, getting a lot of the data so it can be viewed more easily and more accessible. So that way he doesn't have to make any, like, leaping conclusions or anything. He doesn't have to just, like, start trying to fill in the blanks off of, you know, just fucking hunch, like, intuition. He's able to look at these things much closer in order to draw much stronger, you know, analysis from it. It really is quite the deep dive, and like I said, I don't want to like show just a ton of his video. I would really like you to go watch it yourself, because I think it is eye-opening stuff. I want to focus on just a couple of things here that I know a lot of people debated after the first video about, like, well, why should anyone that's not a creator or a fucking business owner care? Who gives a shit? Call the ambulance. I think that one of the business owners that Megalag had in this video giving his piece explains why this is a big deal, why it is bad for not only the small businesses that are not consenting to working with Honey, that are kind of just being forced to without even their knowledge sometimes, why it's bad for them with receipts and email exchange with PayPal Honey directly, why it has been a nightmare for them, and why it is also bad for you. You also get the business end of this penis. Even if you're not a Honey user, if you're watching this and be like, well, I don't care, I don't use Honey anyway, well, it still affects you. And it's a very simple reason how and why.
In fact, Made and Cookware CEO Chip perfectly summed up the devastating impact Honey's actions can have on a small business.
When you're in the early stages of building a business, you're in the stage of, will this company work? Is there product market fit? How do I scale this thing? Can the economics work, right? And so all the things we talked about, these discount codes and the kind of removal of attribution and clearing margin, like those really affect the early stages of a company, from everything from where I put the next dollar in to make sure I can survive, down to you know, you're taking 10, 15, 20% of my sales without me wanting it. And we have digital marketing costs, we have shipping costs, we have all these stacks of costs that not only are getting more inflated over time, like FedEx has been raising their rates over time, warehousing costs have gone up, COGS have gone up, as you know, through inflation for the last 4 or 5 years, right? Like all the cost structures have been going up, and to have someone just stealing and compressing the actual revenue you want, like, puts you small businesses in a real squeeze. And it's just really disappointing, and like, it doesn't even work, because at the end of the day, like, you need to make the numbers work, and if Honey is going to steal 10% of your revenue all the time, you're going to have to raise prices at the end of the day to make up for that, right? And so it's not only not effective, but it makes it worse for the consumer, it compresses for the small business owner and margin. So it's just like a really awful business model. We've been so mad at them.
That is a great explanation from him. I think that's very valuable insight that paints the whole picture clearly. Even if you're in a fucking Xanax-induced fugue state right now listening to this, I feel like you'd hear that and understand what makes this so bad for everybody. Businesses, consumers, and obviously like the affiliate partners, like the creators. One other thing that was mentioned, but I didn't put it here in this space, is how brands, like, when they find out about Honey poaching the affiliate commissions, it makes it hard for them to know where to attribute commissions. So what'll happen is this confusion where they don't know where a commission goes. So, like, let's say they're working with a podcaster or a YouTuber or something, and things get really muddy. It makes it hard for them to know where they're supposed to put that money in the first place. So what ends up happening is they end up pulling out of that market entirely. So now they're not working with your favorite content creator anymore. So they're getting shafted, and they also potentially overspend on the compensation because of how confusing it gets. There's another example given how, like, a business had spent over $100,000 on, like, potentially, like, misattributed commissions from the affiliate marketing as a result of this kind of shit. Like, it gets to be a lot. So then they pull out of that market as well. But what's obviously the thing a lot of people are going to care the most about is how it makes the deals worse for you, because, as he said, if PayPal Honey is going to be taking 10% of all of their revenue through this, which they can't really do a whole lot about, their hands being tied, well, they're going to have to make up for that loss somehow. And that is raising prices. That's how you make the numbers work again. If you're going to be losing 10%, you're going to have to raise the prices in order to compensate, so that way you're not going, like, negative, or you're not starting to, like, tread water, which is what a lot of businesses inevitably have to do. And something like PayPal Honey putting the squeeze on them makes it worse.
So that is a huge problem, and that is how it affects you, even if you are not a Honey user yourself. It is a bad deal for everybody involved here, except Honey. But what's a good deal for everybody is the Starforge Christmas sale. It's live now. Click the link in the description if you're looking to upgrade your PC. Best PCs in the universe.
Chip was kind enough to share his email exchanges with Honey from 2020, and you need to see it because holy shit. Hi, I am the CEO of Meeting Cookware. Please remove us from your app. You've scraped a private friends and family code from our checkout and put it on the platform for others to use. We've lost a bunch of revenue. 4 days later, Honey responds with, Hi Chip, thanks for reaching out. Honey supports over 40,000 stores online, and we always prioritize protecting the Honey experience for users by supporting available stores and displaying available codes. We can absolutely remove the code in question. In order to protect the Honey experience for our users, we typically do not remove codes unless we have a working relationship. I mean, right off the bat, they're basically saying, we won't compromise the experience for our users unless you pay us. Classy. We'd love to discuss how we can work more closely and partner with your brand. Chip replies the same day, we don't offer affiliate deals to coupon sites. We'd like to be removed from your site and extension completely.
The email showcased just how difficult it is to just be removed from Honey. He is putting in plain English, hey, we're losing revenue because of you guys. Please just take us off of this shit. I'm begging. It's like a fucking telemarketer that's refusing to take you off the call sheet. It's brutal. He reaches out to them because Honey had scraped a private code, which is something that earlier in the video, Megalag shows very strong evidence as like a thing that happens, not super unusual with Honey, which is a code that they didn't want to be public. It shouldn't have been public. A lot of businesses have these kind of private codes for like employees or friends and families, or in some cases, as was mentioned earlier in this video, like veterans or something. And Honey will sometimes get these codes and make them public so people can use them, which really fucks the businesses because those weren't supposed to be public. They were supposed to be for a specific person or a specific purpose. So the CEO we just heard from, this is his exchange with them, reaching out like, hey, this happened to us, we're losing revenue, get rid of this, and please take us off of Honey entirely, we don't want to work with you. And whatever zombie he's talking to over there at Honey is just not letting that shit fly. They're playing hardball, trying their best to keep them shackled to Honey, even though they didn't want Honey to be there in the first place. They were uninvited to this hootenanny, yet now they don't have a choice.
His leak code was added through Honey's user-generated coupon functionality. No surprises there. She completely ignores his request to be removed from the platform, only offering to remove the leaked employee discount. Chip replies the same day, our friends and family code was listed on your site. That was an internal code meant for a small group of people that was never published anywhere. Our whole site can't be removed from your app. Honey only responds a week later, confirming they removed the employee discount, but again, completely ignores Chip's request to be removed from Honey. Chip responds immediately, pushing for an answer, but they ignore his email completely. A month later, and Honey leaks another private discount code. Hi, please remove from your app. That is a private code behind a private employee perk login. This should never be public. I don't understand how you feel taking a private employee perk and making that public to the world is helping our business. Honey responds confirming they removed the code, but instead of taking responsibility, they try shifting the blame onto Chip, suggesting his employees might be responsible for sharing the code with Honey. But given what we know about their system, I'm willing to bet Honey were responsible for the leak, not Chip's employees. Honey then suggests that Chip creates single-use codes for each and every employee.
Wonderful, thanks for the unsolicited advice there on how he should run his business with his employees here, knowing full well that Honey does, in cases, take that kind of shit, even if it wasn't the fault of the employee. Allegedly. Like, it's fucking sickening. It's so disgusting. Like, the pompous attitude that comes through on these emails from Honey. This is a business that did not want to be with Honey in the first place. And there was another business that was interviewed in this video about like how he never even heard of Honey, but apparently people were getting tons of discounts on his site because of Honey, and he had never even fucking heard of the service before. So Honey, and you're about to hear from Megalag in the video here, Honey seems to just be subjecting these businesses, these small businesses, to their wrath, where they're just giving out, in certain cases,
private coupon codes to users, which obviously damages the small business and causes them to lose revenue and causes a huge headache there. And then the only way to get off of it is by partnering with Honey, and basically once you are partnered with Honey, then you tell them to exclude that kind of stuff, which is something that piggybacks off of a bit of what Megalag talked about in the first video, where, you know, partnered brands, they have like these certain exclusions and stuff. It's a really like awful business model that's bad for literally everyone but Honey. And it's kind of mind-boggling how the only way to get out of it in a small business's position like this is to partner with Honey and say, stop fucking us. No more of these coupons. So they get you. They get you because they fuck you raw a bit, and they slap you around, and then when you go to them for like assistance, they're like, can't really do anything about that unless you were partnered with Honey. You ever thought about that? If you work with us, maybe fork over a couple of balloons, those clams, well, maybe then we can work a little something out about these pesky little coupons our millions of users keep finding.
2 months later, and another private code gets leaked. And once again, Chip asks to be completely removed from the platform. And this time, Honey finally addresses the question. We proudly host a consistent shopping experience for all Honey shoppers who rely on our shopping tools. Therefore, we cannot disable Honey for individual stores, and never have. Never have, huh? Well, that's interesting, because it just so happens that Andrew from Truger Texture Supply also shared his email exchange with Honey. And would you believe it? He was dealing with the exact same Honey employee as Chip. And while Honey attempted the same sales pitch with Andrew, they did eventually remove his store from the platform. So yes, it is possible, and yes, they have done it before. Once again, we've caught Honey in yet another calculated and deliberate lie. And make no mistake, it was deliberate because this employee, Kelly, confirmed the removal of Andrew's store just 1 month before assuring Chip that Honey had never removed a store before.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to argue that there. It's the same person, and also they removed that previous business a month prior to this exchange with my cookware. So, it's pretty obvious that she's telling some tall tales here. This is a big old fib. They can remove them from Honey, but it seems like they'd rather not, because they'd rather you partner with them so that way they can get a little more out of it, and then you can finally stop bleeding money through these private coupons that surprisingly just keep getting leaked through Honey.
Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year's celebrations, 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of July, 5 Halloween, 5 Thanksgiving, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Oh, Honey, it's so fucked up. Like, it really is like a crazy rabbit hole here.
When merchants discover the code of duty and then they want to clamp down on that, they go to these coupon extensions and flee and request to have their codes removed. And 9 times out of 10, the response is, join our affiliate program and you'll have more granular control over that. And so I think merchants tend to feel a little bit as though they're being blackmailed or extorted, because you join the affiliate program and then you have to pay that coupon extension company every time somebody uses the code. And you're doing that in order to have them not share your code.
That beautifully explains just how scummy this model is, where it does appear that these small businesses feel forced to join these programs here with companies like PayPal Honey, because if they don't, well, they might keep having these problems, but by joining that company, they're not exactly all that much better off, because now they're going to have to make those affiliate payments there. So like, it is just a lose-lose for the businesses. Now, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that section here. Again, I think you should watch the whole video. I do want to touch on where he gets into like the Mr. Beast component, which is in the thumbnail, and something that was mentioned at the start of the video about like how he believes that Honey has been strategically targeting minors in certain instances based on who they partnered with, like Mr. Beast, as well as a couple other examples of his, and why that might not exactly be completely legal, allegedly. because there is laws about collecting data on minors. And through his investigation, with very, very strong evidence, including some of PayPal Honey's own information that they themselves have talked about, they do collect your data. They do seemingly share your data. Now in the video there's even a brief clip where someone is talking about the benefits of Honey's data collection. So even though they explicitly advertise they don't do any of that weirdo shit like collecting and sharing your data or anything like that, the truth of it is that they do collect your data. And to their merchants, they even do brag about how much data they have, and they do share that data. Megalag had a lot of very compelling evidence to prove that fact. I feel like it's pretty obvious, given everything that is accessible, that they do indeed collect that. I'll go ahead and show you that brief clip there, and then we'll get into like how the marketing to minors may be a big issue for Honey.
For their partnered merchant, and discussing the benefits of Honey's data for their partnered merchants.
You know, one of the metrics that we assess very frequently for merchants that work with Honey is, cross-store shopping. So, how many other stores is a user visiting, as well as the store in question. They go to 6 stores, they go to 7 stores, they go to 10 stores before they make a decision on where to purchase.
And here's another former senior partnerships manager.
So, one of the things we have insight into at Honey, because we're a browser extension, we can see our shoppers and how they shop, is that shoppers love to cross-site comparison shop. We're really kind of following the shopper where they go, and we're with them every step of the way. We have all sorts of tools to make those consumers stickier to those direct-to-consumer brands.
And here's a former PayPal executive discussing how beneficial the data is for their goals.
We've got a full suite of solutions across our consumer platforms that help drive new customers, that help drive loyalty, that help drive conversion, and ultimately sales lift. And we have a lot of analytics and a lot of data, a lot of shopper data, obviously, and that's something that we can unlock on behalf of our partners.
You've got to hand it to Honey. They've truly mastered the art of selling bullshit narratives. To users, they promise privacy, insisting, hey, we never sell or share your data. But to their merchants, they literally bragged about how much of your data they had and how it could be leveraged to provide them with valuable insights into your shopping habits.
I think we can say with a pretty high level of confidence that PayPal Honey does seemingly collect your data and is more than willing to share it. So that whole claim they like to make, and even as part of some of their marketing about, we don't collect your data and we certainly won't share that data or sell it or anything like that. Looking like that might have been a big load of hooey. Now, as it relates to being potentially a huge issue when it comes to who they were targeting with some of their advertising, is what I briefly mentioned earlier, where there are laws in place about collecting data on minors. There is a whole host of laws in regards to that subject, and you're about to hear Megalag explain it, but the core issue is, based on some of their ads they were running with some of their partners, as well as who they were partnering with for some of these ads, it does seem like they were directly trying to target Honey to minors, which means they would be collecting data on minors through having this browser extension on their devices.
It's potentially illegal in numerous jurisdictions. Many countries have very strict regulations when it comes to the collection of personal data from minors, and for good reason. Therefore, if you intend on having minors use your product, many jurisdictions require that you obtain parental consent first. But this adds all kinds of technical and legal complexities, which is why many platforms simply limit the use of their service to adults only in their privacy policy, which was Honey's approach, making him Honey's #1 sponsor. In fact, according to my data, MrBeast sponsorships represent over 1/3 of Honey's total sponsored views on YouTube. But it wasn't just MrBeast. Honey sponsored many channels whose content was, in my opinion, clearly targeted at minors. They sponsored Minecraft channels, Roblox channels, cartoon channels. I mean, just watch this video and tell me it's not targeted at children.
This video is sponsored by Honey.
I trimmed it down a bit. He goes on to say, if they weren't looking to get minors to install Honey, why would they sponsor someone like MrBeast or these other channels that he gives a quick snippet of? like Roblox, Minecraft, and then that skit. And he's right. The main demographic of Mr. Beast, it is children. I'm pretty sure that's like an objectively true statement based on data. And Roblox is predominantly a platform used by children. And that cat skit definitely seems like some Nick Jr. stuff there for children. Like, it does appear like they did have marketing pushes that were trying to get Honey in front of the eyes of minors and trying to get them to install it on their browser.
If Honey wanted to target minors so badly, they should have just sponsored one. Oh, wait a minute, that's exactly what they did. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Desiree Machado, who at the time was just 14 years old.
Guys, I'm only 14.
Hilariously, one of her videos that Honey sponsored is appropriately titled Back to School. Honey even ran her sponsored segment as a paid advert on YouTube.
If you weren't convinced before, I imagine that was enough to convince you. That's pretty damning. They literally sponsored a child to promote Honey, and even used her sponsored segment as a paid advertisement across YouTube.
Bundle and save on insurance. Liberty.
Swimmers? Oh, I love those birds. Any pizza, any toppings, for just $9.99? Sheesh, I'm getting all kinds of ideas.
I think there is a very strong argument with strong evidence to suggest Honey was looking to get Honey on the devices of children, and knowing what we know now based on this evidence, it was collecting their data, which is a big legal issue potentially.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey.
They are literally encouraging kids to install a browser extension that tracks and collects data onto every computer in their household, including those belonging to their siblings. That is fucking insane. And the emojis? I mean, come on!
That is a bad look for Mr. Beast indeed. Oof. It does seem pretty clear that Honey was more than willing to advertise to minors. And this is a browser extension that, based on all available evidence, does indeed track data and share data, which, again, appears to be a lot of laws in place that have very strict rules about that when it comes to the data collection of minors. So I guess we'll see what happens from there. Again, this is still not even all of what Megalag covered. I've only chosen a few things to talk about here that kind of piggybacked off of the things I was talking about from the first video. I just cannot, I've said like again 1,000 times now, but I cannot recommend watching this full video enough because it is a really surprisingly deep dive into a very, very suspicious and shady business that appears to have a lot going on under the hood here that is not very good. And the business model itself is bad for everybody, not just creators, not just businesses, and not just Honey users, but any online shoppers in general. They have a negative effect on. It's a bad deal across the board based on everything that has been presented here. Anyway, I'll stop yapping about it for now. That's really about it. See ya. A Reddit moderator just made a video directly speaking to and tugging on the heartstrings of the CEO of Reddit. He's making a big call to action after he had been stripped of his position as top mod on r/livestream fail. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. I can't believe what I just watched was genuine and not a skit. But this seems authentic. What you picture in your head?
Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and you know, there was a bit of a bomb drop last night. Don't want to undersell things that are going on. Nuclear grade cyber attack. The only saving grace here is the nukes weren't hit, okay? From what I understand, they're thankfully disconnected from the internet. But, you know, for anybody that needs to know, the internet is basically the place where we all connect to each other using a various set of applications, services, and whatnot. The people that are making those services usually depend on something that's made by some other person, that's made by some other person, and maintained by one random person. And ultimately, all of the internet dependency hell we sit upon is basically ripe to be compromised. And that's kind of what happened last night, ladies and gentlemen. So this is something that's known as NPM. I want you guys to think of it kind of like a app store for code. Basically, a lot of people that have already designed cool things and tools for websites kind of place them up here so that people who are designing new websites can just go over here and download tools and basically implement them in their website, okay? Now, this basically saves you time on writing the code yourself, but you do have to trust the developers behind it. Now, this is something known as Axios. Now, Axios is a little project that if you open up their good old GitHub, it'll tell you exactly what this thing is for. Now, Axios' job over here and the features it provides you are things like browser requests, Node.js requests, a lot of things that, are basically a required dependency for most internet-related things. And you can see that it's downloaded 101 million times a week. In fact, if we refresh this page, I don't know if the count's entirely going to be real time, but a lot of people get their hands on this shit. Now, this was fucking hacked last night, okay? Massive bomb went off. So let's kind of talk, right? This is a guy called Jason Sayman, and he's the person that's maintaining this Axios. Like I said, a lot of people are thankless maintainers of the most important components on the internet. Now, this person ended up getting their credentials completely grabbed. Now, whether it was some old credential that was stolen, think of it like a YouTube channel hack, right? Somebody opens a shady malware, somebody opens something really shady on their computer, it steals a Google or YouTube token, carries it over to the attacker then uses this internet token to pose as you and make serious changes to your YouTube account. Except here, a massive change happened to this person's maintained account for this actual package. So literally last night, a specific version, Axios 1.14.1 and 0.30.4 were basically published to the registry. Now, for something that's downloaded 100 million times a week, you can imagine for the 2 hours that this shit was sitting up there, a bunch of teams, random people, vibe coders probably grabbed this shit and put it into their actual front-facing, services. Now, you might be like, Muta, do I have to worry as somebody that's just scratching my balls and playing games in my house? No. You probably weren't fucking around with NPM or using Axios to begin with. But there might be services that you use that actually do implement this into their system, and for those people, unless they manage to clean up everything by now, a lot of the hackers that use the supply chain attack have pilfered through their network and grabbed information that may be important to you, and only time will tell. Remember, it's been less than a day this has happened, okay? I've been up all night doing gamer subs directly into the bloodstreams, Code Talk, by the way, before we could continue this, okay? So, a lot's happening. But anyways, to give you an idea, basically when Jason's account was compromised, and even Jason had a fair bit to say too, he was wondering and trying to get support to understand how that even happened. He has things like two-factor authentication on practically every single thing he interacts with. So it is definitely concerning, right? The people that targeted this guy used his credentials specially so that they could then implement and update and upload, malcrafted packages that people would unknowingly download. Remember, if a person like this's credentials is used, it bypasses the whole trust model, and people just hey, Jason said it was okay, so fuck it, download it. But people didn't know at the time that Jason was hacked. Hell, Jason himself didn't even know that he was actually hacked at that moment. So when those malicious versions were updated, they basically added a new dependency called Plain Crypto.js at 4.2.1. And that was never imported basically anywhere else in the source code for this actual project. So when you combined all of these things together, what ended up happening was, people who downloaded these packages were actually compromised. So what happened after they were compromised? Well, it didn't matter what operating system you had or you were running this shit under, whether you had Windows, Mac, or Linux, the guys behind this actually came up with some pretty clever techniques to specifically target each different version, right? And just to quickly, sum it up here, Windows actually had a few PowerShell scripts that allowed it to actually survive reboots, meaning that even if you restarted your computer, what would effectively happen was after a computer would restart, the system would fire up its PowerShell scripts and immediately connect to a command and control server. And similar things would happen to Linux users as well. And obviously, to the Mac people. And for a lot of people who were installing this kind of stuff too, remember, because this plain crypto.js was made specifically for this attack, it was masquerading as something completely legitimate. So when somebody resolves the npm dependency tree by just going like npm install, it basically fetches and installs that plain crypto.js 4.2.1, which, as I told you, is the malicious package in this case, the malicious dependency. Now, effectively what happens over here is once you have run and set up a rat script from the actual C2 server that you connected to, this will allow the actual hacker to grab a whole set of information off from you. So basically, from the fellas over at Windows, what it would do is it would check your documents, your desktops, your OneDrive, things like your app data directory, every single root that you could imagine on your file system. And then after all of this is done, it then goes into the 60-second loop where basically it reports the user's host name, the username, the OS version architecture, time zone, every single fucking identifier, you know? Some of the stuff that you could probably capture from somebody's browser. And of course, when all of this is done, it then sends itself off and then gracefully sends itself into the ether, basically offs itself. Now, of course, if you were to investigate this thing right, remember, it is self-destructing, and it's something that honestly wanted itself to masquerade so that people who were interested in identifying it, like me, were going to have a harder time. But ultimately, things do get investigated. Now, hey, what happened? How many people ended up getting affected? So with 100 million people who apparently downloaded this shit, guys, you're talking about a package that exists in 80% of coding environments, cloud environments, crazy stuff, okay? So for 2 to 3 hours, one platform Wiz basically found that the payload execution happened in 3%, which for how many people download 3%'s a lot, okay? And of course at that point, you know, things have just went completely tits up. So really what they were kind of targeting over here, and this is the most important aspect, is they weren't going after you, the person. They were going after the developers and a lot of their systems because those developers hold more tokens that can be used to abuse more NPM packages, SSH keys, a lot of actual credentials for cloud services, and API keys, environment, every single important sort of token that they could have grabbed and then abused further on is what these guys were basically after, okay? It was a very coordinated attack on a group of people that were going to give these hackers the best return on investment, so to speak, right? This wasn't something where somebody wanted to hack into people's accounts and grab their, goofy little files or even hack somebody's crypto money. This was intended to spread even further. They were going to use this, and they probably are already using it as a springboard into other more nefarious hacks down the road. So a lot of people that download NPM files are probably looking at every single one of them as a possible fucking landmine, right? Everybody that maintains this shit is probably looking at all their accounts, re-signing all of their, tokens and sign-ins so that this shit doesn't blow up further than it actually is. And the important thing about it, too, is that when it came to the person actually running the hack, a great write-up by the guys over at Step Security actually talked further about this situation and kind of, built a really great write-up that went into more detail. And of course, obviously, one of the things that they saw was that, obviously, when it came to the person that was hacked, our friend, his legitimate, post over here was replaced by this, malicious post. And the email actually went to this Proton account.
Each donation puts more on your reloadable debit card. So you have more money to treat yourself and treat your friends. Schedule your appointment today.
I recently stumbled upon this awesome app called Swagbucks where you can earn rewards just by playing mobile games. And get this, you can level up and redeem those rewards for gift cards like PayPal, Target, Walmart, and even Amazon. There are plenty of games to choose from like action adventure, puzzles, and even trivia. It's free to download Swagbucks and easy to try out different games. And if you make in-app purchases within a game, you can level up even faster. Sometimes it's worth that little investment so that you can earn the bigger gift card. Swagbucks is a great way to earn some extra cash on the side. I definitely recommend checking it out.
And of course, Proton Mail is a encrypted mail that is meant for, again, anonymity purposes. And of course, the further you go down in this story, obviously, you know, when it came to even these hackers, they didn't make this look like it was a, you know, it was like a simple job. They actually added, in some cases, a little bit of differences to the stuff that they posted so that it wouldn't immediately spark out as completely unique. It wouldn't spark out as, hey, this is just a malicious file. They actually did add some history to some of these.
I might want to play Tekken.
Welcome back to...
Which hero do you think you want to be today? Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud. Most spiders just climb walls. I'm psionically linked to a giant robot.
They'll have to hit harder. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
So you're a white fox, huh? Heard you like the new Nick Fury, but with an extra eye. And a bunch more tails.
And you're Major Benjamin Gray.
I'm counting on you, friends.
One of the best test pilots that ever...
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
But the morale boost in the heat of battle never hurt anyone.
Finally, someone would cry.
All eyes over here.
Mine's in place.
I have a shield, but no complaints. A little help, please.
We're better when we work together. I'm counting on you, friends. Nada. That doesn't count. You know what to do, spiders?
Someone brought protection.
Mine's in place.
Invisible?
Straight.
Let's have some fun. Shields up!
This is gonna hurt.
Play a game!
We're better when we
Disappear!
Mine's in place.
You can't.
We're better when we work together.
I am barely armed.
Let me return the favor.
They look like they mean business.
This is gonna hurt.
Healing field.
Extra shielding.
We stop, Carter. Fighters get the job done. It's fighter time! No, that doesn't count.
Force burst. I always help my allies. You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
You're up, little ones.
Cover me. A feast for my crows. Call me on me.
Time for some fireworks.
They look like they mean business.
This is gonna hurt.
Fantastic! Ha-ha! Whoa!
Fighters get the job done. Systems restoring.
Better stop that vehicle.
You're up, little one.
Mind if I do?
This is gonna hurt. Whoever they are, they don't look friendly.
Let's play a game!
Disappear! I'm counting on you, friend. Systems restoring. Mine's in place. It's fighter time! We made quite a team. Fighters get the job done. Time for some fireworks. We're better when we work together. This is gonna hurt. Don't count us out yet.
Only 60 seconds left.
You know what to do,
They hit a
fighters.
checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
I have a shield, but no complaints.
It's clobbering time!
This is gonna hurt. Time for some fireworks.
Your life force is mine. Thanks so much.
Powering up. I'm counting on you, friend.
I'm hit. Cover me.
It's now or never. Stop them. Better stop that vehicle.
Force burst. Damage sustained.
You know what to do, spiders? Powering up. Lines in place. It's spider time!
Shields up.
Just needed a few repairs.
The final 10 seconds.
Time for some fireworks. And that's how we do it. Don't count us out yet. Time for some fireworks.
Good to be protected.
Go the spiders. I'm counting on you, friends. My
The current score is 0-3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
The higher the pressure, the more dazzling the diamond.
Round 2.
Impervious!
I like the cold. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Been too long since we did this together, Luna. Ready for an encore?
An Agents of Atlas reunion tour? I don't know.
You can't deny that would be a hot ticket.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I was fine, thank you.
Diamond X now! If you ain't gonna use those powers, I'll be glad to use them for you. I'm made from stronger stuff than that.
I like the cold.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't mind me or anything. Need assistance. You are restored. Time to vanish. Release me now. The more the merrier. I am a true team player. I have more.
It's spider time!
Feeling for my friends. I outnumber you.
Fantastic! Ha! 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 Ha!
Render me assistance. I suck. I'm everywhere. Damage sustained. Disappear! I outnumber you. Your power is mine!
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
A nice deep freeze.
Ah, bless you.
Halfway there. Keep going.
The cold. I owe you for I outnumber you. I'm gone. Thanks so much. Feeling for my friends.
Need some help. Get that vehicle moving again!
I'm opening a portal. A shortcut through space. These mechanical arachnids are no more. They're on trail. Battlefield ready again. The Sorcerer Supreme returns.
A nice deep freeze.
Call me unleashed! Feel presence!
It's spider time!
Strike at me if you dare. Poor Ben Grimm.
Cool and refreshing.
Get that vehicle moving again! Only 60 seconds left.
Maximum pulse! Mortal pain is no match for the Sorcerer Supreme.
Finale.
Pure chaos!
Down to 30 seconds.
Wanda was a mighty power. There is no time to be subtle. Damn ancient beast of evil.
The final 10 seconds.
By the shades of the Seraphim, I
You'll have to
return.
keep fighting until we have a winner. I suck. Need some help.
By the eye of Okamoto, I am strengthened.
Dragon unleashed!
Final score.
well, you can't expect to win them all. Which hero do you think you want to be today?
Oh, pick me! Pick me! Please!
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Those who oppose me shall be left to drown in my wake.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world, but it does help.
Round one,
There is
go!
no reason to be
30
afraid
seconds
of
before
my
you
magic.
attack. Get ready.
Unless you give me one.
We find ourselves caught in a battle between two dooms with no way of truly knowing which one of them is right.
We would be better off making a deal with Mephisto.
I have done that one. I can assure you, most certainly not.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ouch! I'm hurting pretty bad over here!
Can tear it and vanish the entire
Enemy in front of
Damage
us.
sustained! Need assistance! My spirit stay!
Check out this big horn.
Time to go nuts!
You deserve that. appreciate you. Checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Take this, Luther, would ya? Release the Glowdrops!
Score one for the squirrels.
Let us hope this core undoes Ultron's efforts.
Ooh, a touch of healing.
I unleash the Vishanti's power!
You're halfway there. Keep going. Take them down.
My healing factor can't keep up. How about an assist?
I appreciate you. Great job, almost there. Let's turn back now.
Down goes your
Time to go nuts. My animal pals are way too good. Your vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum. A touch of healing.
Enemy in front of us!
Target locked. Take them down. Come on, Lee! Fire squeeze!
Behind you!
Your attention.
Down goes their accuracy percentage!
Easy peasy. Target locked. Hey! And on. Oh, shit, I'm hit. So close. This is your big chance.
Maximum pulse! Maximum pulse!
Disappear! Systems restart. Get that vehicle moving again! I'm not done with this fight yet. That's squirrel power! No way we let Ultron take this place over! Only 60 seconds left! Back to the hunt. Balance has been restored.
The moon haunts you!
I'm not done with this fight yet.
I am accused of loving chaos. It is true.
Sue Richards.
Get that vehicle moving again! Down to 30 seconds.
This isn't the time for a slow dance. Pick up the pace.
The final 10 seconds!
We are at a numerical disadvantage.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. The current score is 2-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I am Loki, goddess of mischief, and the queen of Asgard.
Round 2, go!
I am wily, unreliable, vindictive, and yet oddly
30
compelling.
seconds before you attack.
Don't you
Get
think?
ready.
Wave those jacked up hands of yours around and, poof.
My spells require very precise hand motions to cast correctly.
Oh, I've got some signature hand motions. But showing you would ruin our rating.
I believe it would be best for all of them.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
The hand couldn't take me down. These guys don't stand a chance.
Guess who just showed their...
I attacked a foe.
Down! I'm hurting pretty bad over here!
Careful, Anunk. There might be others.
Your goddess.
Thank you very much.
And here we go again.
Down goes their accuracy percentage!
Every arc will be destroyed.
He stopped them in their tracks!
Who's the man? Wait!
I burst the door.
In your face!
Enemy in front of us.
Come on over!
Another go.
Better stop that vehicle! They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me or anything.
More than I have to.
Leave them to Khonshu!
Stay away from that Ankh if it starts to hover.
Another go.
Our prey is in the open.
In your face! With fire!
Spirits revive!
They've made it halfway! Stop them! There's still a chance to stop them!
Your goddess is
There's
suffering!
You get away with it! You get away with it! You get away with it! This is real firepower!
That was nothing for a goddess.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Step lightly. Might be more onks. I unleash the Vishanti's power!
Hostiles!
Better stop that vehicle!
We on our way to reinforcements?
It's now or never! Stop them!
Another go.
Better stop that vehicle!
Kneel, peasants! Komiho unleashed!
Can't hold me forever.
정우의 시간!
The moon haunts you!
Don't give them another inch! Or else.
Our enemies are near. Maximum pulse!
I was terrorized, broken, and remade in the Red Room.
Final score, 2-3. Well, you can't expect to win them all. Which hero do you think you want to be today? Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Open your eyes. Reality is but an illusion. All those crises I quietly put out, you have no idea.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Even the astral realms are torn apart by the time stream entanglement.
Who better to put them back together than you and me?
I like your optimism.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Power means nothing without discipline.
Good medicine. Leave me, darkness.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. Mission area is yours.
My spirit steadies. Damage sustained.
Doctor
Need
is in.
assistance.
Enemy in front of us. Leave me, darkness.
Damn it, never fall!
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. Control lost.
The Sorcerer Supreme lives once more. Good medicine. Now out, dark magic.
The hunt continues.
Control seized.
A disappearing act.
My spirit steadies.
Got it good. Ooh-wee, that hit the spot.
The area's almost yours.
Camber don't serve revenge cold. Don't back it down now, you hear?
By the
Ooh, found me someone to fight. And we got your back.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Gambit's luck just ran out. You said
Not a chance.
The cards always be in my favor.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I fear my magic could disrupt Clintar's ecosystem in unpredictable ways.
If you set Null free, woman, we swear we will devour you whole.
Well, that took a dark turn.
When it comes to Null, there is nothing.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Gotta be the best man I can be for the new Mrs. LeBron.
Endure that! Lucky draw!
Ooh-wee! That hit the spot.
Damn it! Never fall!
Your chosen mission area is yours to capture now.
Now you do the same for me, please.
The mission area is yours.
Got eyes on one of them.
Double that!
I'm hit! Cover me!
Endure that!
Just the boost I need. Unlucky for you. Now you do the same for me, Lee.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Lucky draw!
A shield. Merci. Gambit got your back.
You need to see this. This area is ours. Hold it.
The area's almost yours.
Never fall!
Gotta keep him from stealing what's out there. Shield. Merci.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Someone's shooting at us.
Another epic victory! Big win! Which hero do you think you want to be today?
Make way for the King of Thieves.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I am Loki, goddess of mischief, and the queen of Asgard.
Who are you calling a raccoon, huh? You want your heroes a little roguish and scruffy, like me.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You humans boast about your cutting-edge science, yet you understand less than 1% of what lies in the oceans.
Well, it makes it a bit hard to do research when every vessel we've sent out gets sunk by you, brother.
The number of illegal mining and fishing ships you humans have deployed is 10 times greater. I don't have time.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
I like hanging around Groot because he gets me.
Heavy weapons.
We've been discovered. You're ready for action. Literally.
Look what just crawled out of the ocean!
A shield? Hard to find good help, isn't it? Well, okay. I'll patch you up. Someone scratch my back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up, team. You're ready for action.
Careful, the cephalopods are quite intelligent.
That put a spring in my step.
Systems restored.
I'll patch you up. This is why I have my blood. My good deed for the day.
I don't think that's a welcoming committee.
Namor wasn't backed up on his own.
Good news. That show was split free.
You're ready for action. This is real firepower. That's me.
Never forget.
More aquatic abominations. Rifle.
Know what to do, spiders?
Armored up. You're ready for action.
Repairs are in order. Energy levels rising.
You're welcome.
It's clobbering time!
Namor wasn't backed up on his own. As long as I got bullets, I
Just what we need. I'll patch you up.
Ultra Ring Supreme!
Pulse charge! Fire! My resistance is down. You're ready for this? Team play! Don't mind me. I'm just dying. A shield? Well, okay. Armor packed here. Hey up. You're welcome. Careful.
Only 60 seconds left.
Good news. Scans show we're squid free.
I would advise using caution here.
Disappear!
How refreshing.
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
Here they are. You're ready for action. See? I'm blocking hell.
Down to 30 seconds.
Armed and dangerous!
Doc Rocket is in the office. This is real firepower! Armored up! You're ready for action!
Gotta be a Namor thing.
The current score is 0-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Who are you calling a raccoon, huh? There's nothing I can't fix.
This is my unnatural selection.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Well, there's my favorite life-hating robot egomaniac.
And you are my favorite stinking obsolescent flesh bag.
Same team today?
Today.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
You surface dwellers can't resist destroying yourselves, can you?
Some uninvited.
Back from the brink, baby! Literally!
Maybe just spawn a Monstro.
You're ready for action! You're welcome! Feeling fantastic. Team play! That's me!
Incoming enemy fire.
Armor packed here! Hey up!
I was gone.
I'll patch you up. Trouble in team play. That's me.
Final score 1, 2, 0. Another epic victory! Which hero do you think you want to be today? Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Ooh! Pick me! Pick me! Please!
With me on the front lines, we can't lose. You know, unless we do. With me on the front lines, we can't lose. You know, unless we do.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Astral projection makes me feel old.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Only 6 of them, eh? This should be easy enough. Here comes the horse! Very fast.
They took out Oso?
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. The mission area is yours.
Good medicine.
Invisible?
Okay, let's give it another shot, rookie. Flushing power!
You owe me one.
Oh yeah, baby, that's the good stuff. book has pictures. Suck it, Blade!
And this is why I chose Reed.
Take this. Mostly so that no one else.
You'll have to keep fighting until we cover!
Locked, loaded, with me on the front lines, we can't lose. My strat? It's Deadpool time, kiddos. Let's f***ing go!
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Even the astral realms are torn apart by the time stream entanglement. Once I saved lives with a scalpel. Now I do it with a spell.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Sounds easy. Which means it's probably not, right?
You're about to find out.
Thank goodness this book has pictures.
Feeling fantastic.
Saw you sent us back to
Looks
spawn.
like the mission area is yours to capture now. We captured the mission
I
area!
didn't come here to read. Heads up, losers!
Destroy the Punisher's turret!
Love that feeling. You wish you were this cool.
I unleash the Hasham power!
Oh, come on! I was just about to ask Death on a date!
Be right there.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Thank goodness this book has pictures. I'm feeling trigger happy.
They've almost got it!
Guess who just showed their stupid faces?
Control C!
Glad we're on the same side this time, Elf. A game within a game.
It's a small
No matter.
victory, but we'll take it.
Flushing power!
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
Come on, time!
Judge, jury, execution!
That's much better.
Ah, here we go again. Flushing power!
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Whatever that freaky split thing was, I killed it. Flushing power!
Which hero do you think you want to be today? Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Goddess of lies? If you wish. What society can exist without
30 seconds
lies?
before you attack. Get ready.
We find ourselves caught in a battle between two dooms with no way of truly knowing which one of them is right.
We would be better off making a deal with Mephisto.
I have done that, Wanda. I can assure you we most certainly would not.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
The evil on this world, unlike anything I have ever felt before.
Our enemies are
Killing
here.
for my friends!
Let him strengthen.
Get in there! Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me or anything. I have many faces. Tops me off. Thanks. Getting away now. I'm gone. Killing for my friends. I have many faces. The wizard is down. My spirit stays. I'm everywhere. No healing spell. Feeling stronger.
I am strengthened for battle.
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
Scratch my back. You're ready for action.
Battlefield ready.
This is real firepower!
Good medicine.
Nobody better put a hand
Behold! Dark child!
on the professional's over. I'll patch you up.
My good deed for the
Need
dead.
assistance!
I unleash the Ashantis.
Us against the world!
You're ready for action. This is a nice spot. Don't mind me. I'm just dying.
Show me that sugar!
You're welcome, my life.
Call me holy!
Team play. That's me.
Only 60 seconds left.
I'm opening a portal.
Just the idiots I was looking for.
A shortcut through space.
You ain't got rid of me yet.
Down to 30 seconds. The final 10 seconds.
Castle went down fighting.
The current score is 0-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Who are you calling a raccoon, huh?
Eat nuts and round 2, go!
Awakens.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
How many of those mystic portals of yours can you open at once, Doctor?
I'm not sure I feel comfortable divulging that information without first understanding why, Director Han.
Tiger Division could use a way to mobilize our agents on a global scale at a moment's notice.
The battle starts in 5, 4... Well, you can't expect to win them all. which hero do you think you want to be today? Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Make way for the King of Thieves. This is almost as fun as pulling a heist. Almost.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I bet an army of squirrels would make fantastic thieves. You can steal anything. That depends on what you're stealing and who you're stealing it from, Cher.
No. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Look, young. But trust me, I've lived through more than most.
Double down!
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Rise and fall! Ain't ready for Rogue to be a widow. Not yet. Lucky draw! Laissez le bon temps rouler.
The mission area is yours.
Lucky draw. Never fall.
me, pas de chance.
Control lost!
Hell unleashed!
Double
Assemble!
Leave them to Khonshu!
Us against the world.
More of them than us? This'll be fun.
Capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Now you do the same for me, Wee. What are you aiming at? Laissez le bon sang brûler. Lucky draw.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Heaven never falls! This is almost as fun as pulling a heist. Almost. Make way for the King of Thieves.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Who are you saving people? I'm a good guy who occasionally takes stuff that doesn't belong to him.
I know, right? Guess you could say we're branching out. Yeah,
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Enemy approaches.
You're ready for action.
I feel renewed.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Things are gonna be different.
Capture the mission area!
I'll patch you up.
Healing factor finally kicked in.
I appreciate you.
I'll patch you up.
Us against the world!
Here comes Rocket again.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Armor packed here. Pay up.
What are you aiming for? Vengeance is mine.
Oh, I'm gonna get some revenge.
They've almost got it!
Those guys are about to shoot at us.
Oh, Max! Weakling!
The moon haunts you.
Well, you can't expect to win